First up, Animal House. How did you get involved with Animal House? That was your first feature film?
That was my first, my first movie, yeah. One of my first jobs. I mean, I had done some, I guess maybe I'd done some theater, but I was doing, I was at school. I enrolled into a 2-year program at the Circle in the Square acting school in Manhattan. And they came to the school, the casting director came to the school, which is pretty unusual, and they said, do you have any kids that could play a college freshman? And they sent me over there, and I met with the casting director, and there wasn't much to read. As you know, I don't have a lot of lines in the thing. It was like, remain calm, do not panic, remain calm. That's like, but maybe my only line. Oh, thank you, sir, may I have another is another.
Well, I mean,
those are my 2 lines.
That's a legendary line right there.
I know, they're 2 good lines. If you're gonna only have 2, they might as well be good ones. But then they had me back, and I read for the director, John Landis, and next thing you knew, I was on a plane and out to Oregon and having the first incredible movie experience of my life, and of course having no idea that it was not only going to be a successful movie, but a movie that actually kind of, in a way, almost created a genre, you know, of sort of what we would consider kind of gross out comedy, you know what I mean, with heart. You know, it's like that really spurned a whole bunch of really great movies.
And Belushi at the time, he was Belushi's SNL's Belushi, right?
Yeah, SNL was a complete obsession, not only of mine, but of everybody, certainly in New York. People would just, whatever anybody was doing, this is way before DVRs, clearly, you know, you would stop what you were doing and you would turn it on in a bar, wherever you were, and just absorb SNL. And John was, you know, part of that incredible group at that time. And so he was flying back and forth from Oregon. He would do about 3 days getting ready for SNL, and then jump on a plane and come out and shoot on Animal House for about 3 days, and jump on a plane and go back. So he was in a really kind of crazy schedule.
Kevin Bacon here on the Rich Eisen Show. What was it like being on set when Nicholson was doing his A Few Good Men finale?
Yeah,
scene,
like incredible, and I'll tell you why. Because it's sometimes it's hard to explain because it all gets cut together, but there's a tremendous amount of coverage, what we call coverage, that goes into making a scene. You got to do a wide shot, close, closer, turn around, close, closer. And in the case of when Jack was doing that scene, we obviously started shooting. They started shooting towards him first, and you know, I think all of us who were off camera were like, "Oh my God, that was fantastic!" From the first time he did it, the second time he did it, just as good. The third time, the fourth time, a closer. Now you have to turn around on Tom Cruise and Demi Moore and myself and the jury and everybody has to react to what he's doing. And it's at this point that some actors, lesser actors, would maybe stop doing quite as much, stop giving quite as much, or maybe go home. I've seen that before.
Go home?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I've seen people that just say, where's the person that you're playing the scene with? They left. They're off camera now. You're going to talk to the script supervisor or talk to somebody's hand or a mark on the wall. Jack just kept doing that scene for 12, 14 hours so that all of us would have something to react to. And it was like, I'd been working for a long time when I did that movie, but it was a lesson that I really will always, hold on to. That it's, you're acting the whole thing, and you can't just go home and hope that everybody's gonna just react to it. And then the memories of Apollo 13 and sadly Bill Paxton, who passed recently, the time that we spent, me and Tom Hanks and Bill. We filmed that movie in something called the Vomit Comet, which is an airplane where you create 0G, since you can't really create 0G on Earth. It's a long story, but we ended up you fly over the Gulf of Mexico, and the plane climbs and dives and climbs and dives and climbs and dives, and at the point where you go over the top, there's 25 seconds of weightlessness. And we did it as an experiment just to see what it felt like to be weightless. And then Steven Spielberg suggested to Ron that it might be cool to kind of build some of the sets up there and get some shots up there. And, you know, when you think about it, back then, there was no digital floating, and whatever you wanted to do for weightlessness was going to be harnesses that in front of a green screen, and it's going to be awkward and probably not that easy to get. And we did it over 600 times, and so the kind of bonding that you get when you're from that kind of terror and nausea, you never forget.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.
If you liked some of that, get some more of that on the Rich Eisen Show app. Follow all the information you see right here on the Rich Eisen Show.